赤天原に缶詰まりますかむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめみよやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのひむかの立ち花のほどのわはぎ原にみそぎ払いたもときになりませる払いどの神たちもろもろのまがごと罪けがれを払いたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしをあまつかみくにつかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちこまの耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみもまおす。弥勒大神守りたまえ先生えたまえ弥勒大神守りたまえ先生えたまえ教えみ親主の神守りたまえ先生えたまえ教えみ親主の神守りたまえ先生えたまえかんながらたまち生えませかんながらたまち生えませ
The monthly service is our opportunity to offer God our gratitude and to state our commitment and make requests for the month. As there is a morning service at the beginning of the day and a New Year's service at the beginning of the year, the monthly service is the starting point of each month where we receive the light and permission to live the next 30 days and to achieve our honest aims. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are starting now the monthly service of gratitude of September 2022 of the World Messianic Church of South Africa. Prayer of the monthly service of gratitude.
O God, Lord and Creator of the universe, before Thee, on behalf of Thy humble servant, in deep reverence I elevate this prayer unto Thee. On this meaningful day on which we solemnly perform the monthly service of gratitude, gathered in Thy presence, we surrender the offerings to express from the bottom of our heart our feeling of gratitude for the constant blessings and protection which Thou hast been granting us. With a renewed spirit, we wish to deepen our faith even more, and supporting each other, devote ourselves to the path of the salvation of the world, working hard with all our sincerity. We promise at the same time to serve more and more in the materialization of Thy divine will, based on the guidance. Let us develop a faith that links us to the Messiah Meishu-Sama, nurturing our altruistic love and the feeling of gratitude in our daily life, striving to become pleasant people and pioneers of salvation. Concurrently, with the desire that all of our ancestors receive the immense and warm divine light from the Supreme God, we hold the annual Ancestors Service with love, requesting their spiritual upliftment. And in this joyful day, we present before Thee the names of the spirits that have affinity with us, requesting that Thou grant them infinite blessings and protection. Therefore, we humbly beseech Thee.
Offertory of gratitude. Head of Service, Reverend Cláudio Cristiano Leal Pinheiro. Representative of the participants, Eli Elijah Mashiani. Please let us follow the rest. Amatsu no Rito, Zengen Sandi, and the Messianic Prayer.
Kamaharani kanzumari masu kamurogi kamuromi nomi koto mochite sumemi oya kamuri zaragi nomi koto tsukushi no himukano tachihana no odono ahagi harani misogi harari kamotoki minari maseru harai dono kanitachi moro moro no magago tsunike garero harai tamai iyome tamai tomao sukoto no yoshi o amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya oyoro sono kami tachi tomoni Amen no fuji koma no mimi furika tete kikoshi meseto kashikomi mama osu. Uya shikomo miruni Donkanze ombo satsu kono doni amora setamai Konyo nyorai do genji Oshi miro kutokashi Guse no mikami to naraseta maite, dai sei sekai no sanzoku meshi, gojo ku okiyome, yaku senno kuisa ishujo no tengan, konyo jo aku eigono, joko sekai o narashimete, gojo no kuruina kufukukase, amo narasunaki, Miro kono mio mitamo, murio moheino daijini, tenga setsu no matsuroite, joaku jabo aratamari, yasha ryushin no geratsu nashi, shozen goshin koto koto sono kokoro zashi otoguru nari, sansei somoku koto kotoku, Mikami no itoku ni nabikaite, Kinjo jogyo no suema demo, Mina sono tokoro esaru nashi, Masari kore shibiji so sekai hite, Karyo bingawa sarani mai, Zuyu penita nabikeba, Banka fukui fushini kunji, Shingenkyo koro susanitachi, Guse no miyakata kasunitsutsu, Kogane no iraka santo, Initeri eizuko keiwa, Geni moten kokura kudonari, Gokoku minori tekurani nishi, Tsunadori utaka ni amegashita, Ikito shigeru moro moro no, Eraki nikiwa ukwe Tutsura urani mishi watari, Kunito no sakai nako, Ito kusatashi no nikushimiya, Isakai koto mo yumeto kie, Iten shikai oshinabete, Miroku no mite nikisutare, Shinji no mimune nidakare, Ware hagari no sikyonimo, Mirosho tamai shinkakuo, Ese shibeyo ato nisakai, Yoai wa nakakumu yakuni, Zendo koko kasane sase, Kukujukai murio no dai kudoku, Dare sase tamai mashimaseto, Nei jushinge satonshu, Ifukura ande kimaosu. Mirokuo mikami, Nomori tamae saki hae tamae, Miroko mikami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mio yano shino kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshiemi oyano shinokami, mamorita mais activar. Annagara kamachikare mase. Annagara kamachikare mase. O Supreme God, creator and giver of all life.
O Supreme God, creator and giver of all life, by thy divine will, the long age of night has come to an end. Thou art releasing thy direct light to live the glorious new age, for which mankind has long been yearning. We thank thee for guiding us to thy divine life program. We thank thee for the privilege of receiving and sharing thy life. May our spirits and bodies be luminous and cleansing. May we live the precepts thou hast given us through Meishu-Sama. Make us pure channels of thy divine light, blessing those with whom we come in contact. May thy plan for the new age of life be fulfilled, and peace, health, and plenty become a reality. Great God of light, bless us and protect us, and give expansive radiance to our soul.
Please be seated. During the annual Ancestor service, before we chant the Zengen Sanji prayer, we must do 2 reverences and clap 2 times. Instead of chanting Mirokuo Mikami Mamori Tamae Sakihae Tamae, we intone Kakurio no Kami Mamori Tamae Sakihae Tamae 2 times. We are starting now the annual Ancestor service of 2022 of the World Messianic Church of South Africa. Prayer of invitation.
Ancestry, ancestors, and spirits of the families of the members of the World Messianic Church of Africa, the spirits of the friends and acquaintances that have already parted, as well as all the spirits requested by all the people that have an affinity with members. Receive in peace this religious service that we now perform. Tofta mi oitu muyu nanaya Pocono Taria Itofta Mio Muyunanaya Pocono Taria Itofta Mio Muyunanaya Pocono Taribomo Chorosu. All spirits thereby invited, peacefully take a place in this between the chairs.
Offering. Prayer of the annual Ancestor service.
Ancestry and ancestors of the family roots of the members of the World Messianic Church of Africa, particularly the spirits of the pioneers, foundations of the divine work that performed meritorious service, widely spreading and expanding the teachings of the salvation of the world, and the spirits of relatives, friends, and acquaintances, before thee, the head of this service and humble servant, in profound reverence, elevates this prayer. Of all dates, we chose and established this day, 24th of September, as the most beautiful and auspicious, and we, your descendants, are gathered before this altar to celebrate in your memory the ancestor service. Thus receive with love and joy the offerings and prayers we hereby offer you with a pure and sincere heart, remembering and being grateful for your meritorious acts. You have been respectfully receiving every day gratifying light, benevolence, and protection from God and Meishu-Sama. In the spiritual world, you have worked to polish your soul and to serve in the divine work. Thus we, your descendants, are blessed with a joyful and peaceful life. Furthermore, by respectfully accepting God's will, it is transmitted to us, your descendants, that live in the material realm, and it's mysteriously transformed in our spiritual strength. Thus, for the benefit of the bounteous glory and the great divine work, we sincerely wish that you commit to serving God evermore with all your being, to accumulate notable merits, and to be elevated unto the highest spiritual level, thus achieving eternal happiness. Thereby, humbly and respectfully, we elevate to you this prayer.
Offertory of gratitude. Head of service, Reverend Cláudio Cristiano Leal Pinheiro. Representative of the participants, Padanina Rebecca Ndoka. Please let us follow the reverend. Amatsunorido and the Ancestor's Prayer.
Kamaharani Kanzumari Masu
Kamuro
Kamurani
di kamuro mi no mi kotomo chitesu me mi oya kamuri sanaki no mi koto tsukushi no himu kano tachi hana no oto no haraki harami misoki harai kamo toki ni nari maseru harai kono amikachi moro moro no makato tetsu mike gare o harai tamai kiyome tamai tomao sukoto no yoshi o amatsu kami kunitsu kami yaho yoro sono kami tachi tomami ame no fuji koma no mi furita tete kikoshi meseto kashikomi kashikomi kona osu
Kakurio no Kami
Amore tamae saki hae tamae
Kakurio no Kami
Amore tamae saki hae tamae
Kanagara
Kamashia emase Kanagara Kamachia emase
Ancestors enshrined in this altar. Ancestors enshrined in this altar. We direct to thee our most sincere gratitude. Acknowledge the mission of establishing paradise on earth that we received from God. We thank you for all the protection that you have been blessed with. We pray that by spreading an unleashed love and by the practice of good and selfless deeds, all generations may be blessed and enlightened by the infinite love of God. We also pray that guided and anchored by the truth revealed to us by Meishu-Sama and by the alternation of life and death in an evolutive process, we may be allowed to serve evermore as useful and valued instruments of the creation. Amen.
Please be seated. Let us receive Joris. end of journey. Prayer of return.
Toftami yoitsumoyo nanaya okonotaria. Toftami yoitsumoyo nanaya okonotaria. Toftami yoitsumoyo nanaya all spirits of the ancestors enshrined in this Vitamashiro. With the end of this religious service for the ancestor souls, we respectfully request that you return to your place of providence in the spiritual world.
Teaching of Meishu-Sama.
A thought on the new civilization. What we call the new civilization is, in simple language, a world of beauty. In men, this means the beauty of the mind and heart and spirit. His words and actions, of course, must also be beautiful. This is the beauty of the individual, and when it is extended, the beauty of society comes into existence. That is, relationships between individuals become more beautiful. Houses, trees, means of transportation, and public gardens all become more beautiful also. By its very nature, beauty must be unsullied. So, on a larger scale, government affairs, education, and economic activities must become morally pure, and diplomatic relations between nations must become totally honest and positive. As we think in this way, we cannot help realize how much ugliness there is in today's society. Especially among the lower classes, there is far too little beauty. One cause of this is that their incomes are too small. As a result, their levels of education are low. Also, facilities for their welfare and recreation are very inadequate. All these factors generate social unrest. I wish to make special mention of recreational facilities which require an abundance of beauty. I say this because there is nothing more effective in elevating human sentiments than awareness of beauty. This is the reason we constantly advocate appreciation of all the arts. It is hardly necessary to mention how the vulgar and indecent nature of the creative arts and entertainment we see today is becoming a factor in the corruption and degradation of people's minds. In order to bring about a world of beauty, a most important necessity is economic strength. As long as the people of a nation remain poor, they cannot even dream of bringing such a world into reality. What then must be done in order to build up economic strength? People must do their utmost to increase their productive power, and the condition most vitally necessary, for this is the health of each individual. This is one of the main goals towards which our church aims. It is for this purpose that it is demonstrating a spiritual healing force which is unequaled in the world. It is actually developing a great number of individuals who are enjoying perfect health in spirit, mind, and body. From this, I trust you understand that our fellowship has been endowed by God with a mission of and qualification for establishing such a world of beauty. The realization of this world is but a matter of time. I do hope the public at large will watch closely the direction we will take in the years to come. June 3rd, 1950.
Marciano.
Good morning, good people.
Good morning.
How's everyone?
We find thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama.
Thanks God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. Let me take this opportunity and I would like to welcome our brothers and sisters from Jozi Hey, long time we don't see each other, long time we don't pray together. You know, this COVID has divided us so much. But we are glad now, we are blessed today. We are together. Hopefully, in future, we will do as we usually do, praying together always. Thank you very much. I'll give it to you.
My name is Elijah Mashiach. I am 68 years old.
Oh,
I am currently staying at Saltville, Pretoria. I have known this church for 13 years now. I was guided to the church by a missionary in front of the church. She offered me a flower and invited me for a prayer. At the time, I was facing financial difficulties, conflict with my family, and I was ill. I would sometimes collapse while driving, and upon waking up, I would see the car losing direction, and I would suddenly bring it back to the road. I explained all my suffering to the minister and was guided to do the following: receive tangerine every day, keep flowers of light at home, make the vegetable plot at home, make the daily donation and tithe, attend all church services. I managed to follow the guidance without any difficulty, and my life improved. To this day, I have not collapsed again. The testimony of faith that I would like to share is related to the power of participating in the spiritual cleaning. One Sunday, while holding a service in the home of a missionary in Lotus Gardens, we received the guidance to participate in the dedication of cleaning the streets, do the spiritual cleaning in the houses of our fellow followers, and to do the prayers every 3 hours to prepare for the Paradise of Earth service. I did my best to go to Lotus Gardens on Saturday to participate in the cleaning of the streets, and we also distributed flowers. I also regularly participated in the cleaning of the parks at the Union Building. Early July, the missionary mentioned to me that she was going to move from Lotus Gardens, and she tried several times to organize a meeting with me and another member so we could talk. We could talk about how best to continue with the dedication. She was worried about the Sunday services. Unfortunately, she moved before we could have the permission to have that meeting. I started purifying in July. It became so intense I went to a doctor. I got worse, but I was receiving Torah from my wife and other members. Nevertheless, the purification accelerated, and I went back to see a doctor. One day, while we were at the dedication of the flood in the Lotus Garden, I nearly fainted. I received Torah from a missionary for 10 minutes and felt much better. Toward the end of July 2022, I received a call from a missionary who told me that the minister would like to have a meeting with me and the other full members so we could find a way forward with our dedication. After speaking to my wife, we volunteered to open our house so we can hold Sunday services. I was also given the responsibility of taking care of followers in Lotus Garden, including the vegetable garden at the crèche. The minister guided me to do the profound cleaning in my house before we could start holding the service. She also guided me to do the march of the rain and the flowers around my neighborhood. The profound cleaning was done in my house, and we made a flower workshop together with my wife. Since the month of August, we have been having Sunday services, and I have been receiving followers who want to receive the rain during the week. Blessings received. At the start of August, my oldest daughter, Violet, phoned and said someone was selling a used car which was in good condition. We went to see the car and were so impressed, we made an offer immediately and bought the car. We were very grateful for this blessing. After a week, our other son Moses phoned us and told us that he had a surprise for us. To our amazement, he also bought another car. We were filled with gratitude and realized that all these blessings happened because of the spiritual cleaning in the street and by opening our home to be used by Meishu-Sama. What I have learned. I have learned that following the guidance is very important. Since we tried our best to participate in the spiritual cleaning of the streets, distribute flowers, follow the 3-hour prayer, and making the profound cleaning in our home, all these efforts have opened a way for my family to receive more blessings and protection from God and the Messiah Meishu-Sama. My commitment. My commitment is to guide and take care of people, to do better than before, and to be useful to God and the Messiah Meishu-Sama. I would like to thank God and the Messiah Meishu-Sama for the permission to participate in the work of salvation. To all ministers, members, and followers of the church, thank you very much. Eliza Marcian.
Thank you very much.
You will never come alive. You will never come alive. I will sing it out, Meishu-Sama. You will never come alive. I will sing it out, Meishu-Sama. You will never come alive. You will never come alive. You will never come alive. I will sing it out, Meishu-Sama. You will never come alive. I will sing it out, Meishu-Sama. You will never come alive.
Testimony of Faith by Alison Esther Faith.
We walk in the light, we walk in the light, we walk in the light, we walk in the light of God. My feet let's walk in the light, let's walk in the light, let's walk. In the light, let's walk in the light of God. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Alison Esther Smith Isaacs Pfeiffer. My name is Alison Esther Smith Isaacs Pfeiffer. I'm 50 years old and a South African citizen. I met the church 10 years ago. Back then, I was purifying with conflict in my marriage, joblessness, and homelessness. We managed to overcome the purification, and I became a member in December 2012. Thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. The testimonies of faith that I would like to share with you are based on cleaning public spaces for the happiness of others and the spiritual cleaning in other people's homes. My husband and I received the guidance to clean a park close to our home, the David Webster Park in Johannesburg, every day. When we started this dedication, both my husband and I were unemployed. We struggled to pay our rent and to buy groceries for the house. The park was extremely dirty, and we heard many bad stories about a group of people robbing people in the park, hurting women and children and men. The park had many drug users every day. We continued our dedication and visited the park as often as we could. 3 weeks after we started this dedication, many people started to thank us for cleaning the park. This made us feel good and happy, since the whole point of cleaning was to make others happy. I got a temporary job that allowed me to work 3 hours a day. This was a blessing since we had no income at all. After 2 months, the local council called us and personally thanked us for cleaning the park. They started supplying us with gloves and refuge bags to aid in the cleaning efforts. Furthermore, they started sending workers to regularly cut the grass and pick up the dirt we cleaned on a monthly basis. The council also started to give out food parcels to the surrounding community, including to my husband and myself. The park started to change. We no longer hear about robberies and other bad things happening in the park. Less people stop coming to the park to do drugs now. 3 months after we started our dedication, a religious organization booked the wall at the park to celebrate a religious event. I have lived in this area for the past 10 years.
but never did I think I would see such a thing. The park looked so colorful, so beautiful, hosting over 50 families, having a day of a religious celebration. A month later, I started taking care of a follower that I met in the park. He suffered with conflict with the mother of his child and unemployment. I guided him to receive Jure with us for 30 days and for us to do the spiritual cleaning in his home. While taking part in the spiritual cleaning, he got a call from a company and was interviewed through the phone. He got the job immediately after that and after the interview and was postponed from Johannesburg to Nelspruit. The mother of this child agreed for him to be with his daughter while he stayed in Nelspruit. Thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. Myself and my husband received a full-time job just days after dedicating in the spiritual cleaning at the members' home. This made us very happy since we now are able to pay rent and buy groceries for our home. Together with our 10-year-old son, Mali, we then went further with our dedication in the park and started a flower plot together with the minister and the other members. We started to take care of another follower we met during our dedication in the park. This follower was purifying with tuberculosis and hunger. He was very sick when we met him and very weak. We guided him to receive Jure for 30 days and to have the spiritual cleaning at his home. Myself, my husband, the minister, 2 members from Angola, and 1 member from South Africa, together with the owner of this house, carried out the deepest spiritual cleaning I have ever seen before. Through this dedication, the follower overcame his difficulties with hunger. He started receiving food parcels from local outlets and from his family. His sickness improved a lot. He became stronger and happier. The follower also received a financial blessing. His previous company, which didn't give him a payout since he got sick in November 2018, agreed to do so and to get his payout from the 14th of November 2022. This was another huge blessing. Thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. A member was purifying with financial difficulties and a lack of food at home. I invited the member to participate in the dedication with us at the park for 2 hours. The very next day, this member received a financial blessing of almost 5,000 Rand. I suggested that we do spiritual cleaning at her home, and she agreed. We carried out the cleaning, made a flower workshop, and a march of Jure with the same group of members before. This was another deep spiritual cleaning. A few days after this dedication, the member got a call from her baby's father, who was not supporting the child properly. He told her that he loves their son and that he is ready to do everything to support the baby. He now supports her every second week and helps her with their son. Thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. 2 days after this spiritual cleaning at this member's house, my husband got bit by a dog in the park while we were giving service in dedication there. This dog was with his owner, a man who sells drugs to the community. 2 days after the dog bite, my husband's sister, who avoided communication with him for almost 12 years, contacted him, and they now speak regularly. Thank God and Messiah Meishu-Sama. 2 days after the spiritual cleaning, my husband and I got, While writing this testimony of faith, the follower that dedicates with us in the park came to our home to receive Jure. He had told us that he came from the park, that he saw government workers in overalls 3 bakkies to offload materials, and they were busy with construction work. This was unbelievable. So myself, my husband, and our 10-year-old son went to the park a few hours later. To my surprise, they were indeed busy with construction work, and they were fixing the playground for the community. Wow. Thank God in Messiah Meishu-Sama. What I have learned through these dedications, when we clean our surroundings and our environment, we also clean the suffering of our own lineages. When we take care of others' happiness, God really takes care of our own happiness. My commitment is to continue doing my best to take care of other people, to do my utmost best to form members in our church so they can also take care of other people. I thank Supreme God and Messiah Meishu-Sama for the permission to be a member of the World Messianic Church in South Africa. I would like to thank my ancestors for guiding me to this church. Thank you to everyone listening to my testimony. Thank you. Thank you.
Greetings from the Vice President of the World Messianic Church of South Africa, Minister Paulo de Paula e Souza.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's still morning. Good day, everyone.
Salvonani, Dumela, Vikai. That's about it. I forgot everything else. Thank you very much. Congratulations for the service, the monthly service of gratitude, along with our annual Ancestors services. Congratulations. I'm very humble, I'm very happy to have this permission to celebrate Heritage Day, our Ancestors Day, alongside with all the membership of South Africa and of the world. Congratulations once again. Did you like the testimonies? Yes. I'd like to take this opportunity and thank Babelaja for his wonderful testimony and Sister Lisa for her testimony as well. We have known each other for a long time, and to see you've been blessed at this level, it really shows us how Meishu-Sama is working wonders here in South Africa, and to those who are sincere from their hearts. Congratulations. I'd like to also thank everyone from Pretoria, Johannesburg, Soweto, coming from far, to be here today in this blissful and joyful day. Thank you very much. I'd also like to share with you a testimony of faith that we lived in the church in Mozambique. Some of you know, have been there. We have a farm, as a plot of land that is our natural farming plot, or pole of nature farming, where we grow our vegetables, not only for the members, but to be sold in many places of Maputo, doing by the system or by the way that was advocated by Meishu-Sama, without chemicals, without agrotoxics, without poison. And 9 years ago, of course, we have to use water to water the plants and the crops and everything. But 9 years ago, the water of the well went dry, and we no longer had water. There was a big lake in front of this plot. It also drained everything, and we had no water. We had to pay for water to come from 2 kilometers down from one of our neighbors. But even that water, we were having difficulties to bring to the plot. Because when we say it's a plot, but it's in the middle of, there's no road. We have to go through a gravel. Is it gravel? Huh? Gravel road. But a part of the way, only a 4x4 vehicle can go through it. So it's not that easy to reach. So to bring water there from our neighbors was also a very hard mission. And this year, we were thinking even of selling the land. Maybe it was the time that we should close that nature farm and maybe trying somewhere else. Anyway, our president gave us the guidance to, since we started the pandemic, we have not been there with the all members to dedicate. So it was like 5 months ago, perhaps, we started going again with our membership. Every third Saturday of the month, we would all be there. Sometimes 200 people, 150 people dedicated. From 7 in the morning, we would do half an hour or 1 hour of prayers, and then we start dedicating with our own hands. And 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, we were surprised that the water came back to the well. The well is having water again. Yeah. We can take as much as 1,000 liters of water from that well now. Yeah. So all the water that we need, the lake is still dry, but the water in our well popped out again, and the crops are marvelous. We are having passion fruit, We are having lettuce. We are having in 3 years that I don't speak English. Carrots and spring onions and everything, and even millies are coming out. It's beautiful and green. Fruit trees. And we are expanding now to 1,000 square meters of crops in that place that through 9 years, no one. So for us, it was a sign of God responding or answering to the love and the sincerity of our members who are facing all these difficulties to reach that place and to dedicate in the benefit of other people. So that's what I wanted to share with you to share this happiness with you, and also to invite you when you want to come to Mozambique and dedicate with them. You're also very welcome. And now I'd like to ask our president, Reverend Cláudio Cristiano Leal Pinheiro, to come and be the voice of Meishu-Sama to our souls. Please, Reverend.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Happy Heritage Day to all of you.
Thank you.
All of us. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you for all the effort you've done to spread joy and the teachings of Meishu-Sama here in South Africa. I'd like to thank to all our brothers and sisters who are watching along with us through the internet, who are attending the service together with us. It's very important for all of us to be here today to thank God, Meishu-Sama, and our ancestors, to renew our commitment toward the construction of paradise on earth. I'm really very glad to be together with you for such a long time, yeah?
Yes.
That we did not gather like this, only visiting the homes, giving joy. And I do believe that through the sincere service, sincere dedication that all of you have done from your homes, from homes of our members, our followers, that we are today here together, having our monthly service along with our annual ancestor service. It's like Minister Paul said, it's very, how can I say, it's very joyful to listen to testimonies of faith like we heard today. Another round of applause for of Elijah, and to see how things change when we do our best to participate in the construction of paradise on earth. I also asked Minister Paulo to share this testimony that happened in Mozambique. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, I think it's a very strong sign to all of us that Meishu-Sama came to fulfill the prophecies that Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and other founders of religions have done so far. Meishu-Sama did not come to replace Jesus in the hearts of Christians, or to replace Muhammad in the heart of Muslims, or to replace Buddha in the heart of Buddhists, or to replace our Hindu beliefs. We do believe that the Supreme God, Unkulunkulu, yeah?
Yes.
He has a plan. He has a plan to establish an ideal world here in the material world on earth. And to fulfill this plan, he has sent Hinduism, Buddha, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Luther, and other leaders in all fields of human capacity, so that we could prepare ourselves so that at this very moment, paradise may be established here on earth. That's why Meishu-Sama came to make all these prophecies come true. He received it from the Supreme God, from Kulu, the mission of Messiah to set humanity free from disease, poverty, and conflict. That's why Meishu-Sama came. And we are very fortunate people, because we already know Meishu-Sama, we know that Messiah has arrived. We have contact with his teachings, with joy, and we can't keep it only for us. It's a big sin to keep Meishu-Sama only for me and my family. I need to share it with humanity. That's why our lives have been changed. That's why our lives have been changed. Because when we speak about today, we say Heritage Day. Yeah, Heritage Day is the day that we remember the heritage we have received from our ancestors, our traditions, our values. Many of these traditions, values, they are praiseworthy. They are worth to be shared with our kids, grandkids. And many of them are not. Everything that was based in selfishness, materialism, inflicting suffering to other people, belong to the age of night. You see? That's why it's so important to reflect when you speak about Heritage Day. We remember our ancestors, yeah? But we who are here, we are also ancestors of our kids. Yesterday, my daughter made an offering, and she cooked. She was cooking, and it was very beautiful, yeah? And me and my wife watched what she cooked. We said, oh, let's taste it. It's really very beautiful. She cooked for the service. He said, no, 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 no. This is only for my ancestors, for anyone else. And me and my wife said at the same time, we are your ancestors. Because we came before you. I said, so we are ancestors. Okay, it's only for me and mom, not your brothers. you separate, you take the share of the ancestors here, and the rest is for me and mom, because we are also ancestors. So, we are alive here, but it's true. What I do, my feelings, my words, my deeds, are the inheritance I'm handing to my kids, to my grandkids. Everything I sow,
they will reap along with me, even when I'm back to the spiritual world. So all of us create the heritage that we'll share with our relatives and with the rest of the world. That's why it's so much important to do our best to improve ourselves. To improve ourselves. We're not perfect, but our sincere effort to improve ourselves day by day, little by little, to think less of our interests and put happiness of other people in the first place, happiness of the world in the first place, is the best inheritance we may leave for our kids, we may leave for the world. And as I told you before, we are extremely blessed because we already know Meishu-Sama, his teachings. We know the cause of our sufferings. Meishu-Sama has taught us through his teachings that during the age of night, moved by selfishness and materialism, we created suffering for other people, for the world. This suffering is the root of disease, poverty, conflict that we have now in our lives. So in order to eliminate this, we need to change our attitude from materialist to spiritualist, from selfishness to altruist. We need to change our beliefs. As I told you, all the traditions that we have received from our ancestors that are in accordance with the daylight age, with the natures of law, they will be kept in the daylight age in paradise on earth. And the ones that are not, they will not be carried on from now on anymore, because the world has got in another stage of evolution. So you see, from the two testaments of faith, we can learn a lot. We can learn a lot. Baba Elijah, he was, when he arrived at the church, the health troubles he had, he got healed through Jorei, as he said, yeah? And now he received this new responsibility of from his home, start guiding people, receiving people. And as he started to do that, to clean the streets, clean the homes of people, start giving joy to the followers, guiding them along with his wife, his life started to improve. In the situation we are going now, it's not easy to get two cars, at the same time. You see how it's essential that we use our life to bring joy to other people, to introduce Meishu-Sama to as many people as possible. This is our mission. This is why we had contact with Jory, we received the Hikari. We need to share this with as many people as possible. The same happened with Lisa and Tony. They were facing extreme difficulties, and it was easier, since they have a place, a park that they can do the cleaning service. There is no jury center now there in Johannesburg. So start cleaning every day with the goal of bring happiness to people, guide people, give jury, do your best to do your donation of gratitude. As they started doing that, the cleaning, the environment start to change, they start to attract and other people to take care of, and their lives also start to improve. As we keep doing that, it's natural that little by little we overcome disease, poverty, financial difficulties in our lives, conflicts, because we are moved by what we say, Makoto. Meishu-Sama, when he speaks about this word, Makoto, he speaks very clearly. He says, the key to the solution of all problems, whether they concern an individual, a nation, or the world,
is Makoto. Poor administration stems from a lack of Makoto. Want of things of a material nature is caused by lack of Makoto. Deterioration of morality is due to a shortage of Makoto. Confusion of social order occurs when Makoto is missing or here. Indeed, the basic cause of all the stressing problems is this absence of enough Makoto. Religion, education, and the arts are only skeletal forms without Makoto at their core. Makoto, Makoto. I say to all humanity that the only key that can solve all problems is Makoto and Makoto alone. Makoto is to say what we do and do what we say, putting the happiness of other people of the world in the first place. It's our sincere effort. God does not want the impossible from us. The impossible, God and Meishu-Sama perform in our lives. They want our sincere effort in the practice of donation, in the giving of joy, in guiding people. Like that, the situation they were, they had free time, they could start making the clean every day. It was the best they could do. If the best they could do was once a week, they would also overcome their troubles because they were being sincere in their effort. This is what we need to reflect. And when we keep doing this on an ongoing basis, everything starts to change. As Mr. Paulo shared with us, the miracle of the well. Oh, it's really amazing. When I came back there, they told me, oh my God, it's really a great blessing. And you see the pictures, completely different. How it was the farm, how it became after the water returned. It was fruit of sincere dedication of our followers going there, doing the best. And everything will happen this way. And now, what I do believe that we are doing a lot of efforts to reopen our centers. This is our goal. But it's very important, each one of us who are members are the ones who have the Hikari, and the followers are attending the church. Yeah? All of us, members and followers, we need to do our best to take care of people, to be used by God and Meishu-Sama to transform lives of other people. Like when they start to make the cleaning of the streets, it's essential practice for the construction of paradise on earth, as you heard in the teaching today. The mission of creating a world of beauty. And we see a street that's dirty. There's no beauty there. Where there is material dirty, there is also spiritual dirty. That awake people to practice bad deeds. When you start acting, Meishu-Sama, please use me as our instrument to clean this place. We create a better environment. When we plant flowers, people see and they, oh, it's beautiful. It starts to cleanse their hearts, their minds. It starts to awake their divine part, the soul that each one has received from God. It's an activity essential for the construction of paradise on earth. As they started doing their best to carry on these activities, they start to become paradise-like people because we start elevating ourselves. Since we are dedicating ourselves to the construction of paradise, we become what we dedicate ourselves to. If I keep making people suffer, I become a hell-like person, more and more. Because I'm dedicated to create evil in lives of people. So I become more and more evil, worse and worse. And my life gets the same. That's why it's the same exchange of attitude. And I received the testimony of faith that I thought it's very important to share with you because it shows us how it is the way to overcome all kinds of troubles we're going through. It's from a member from Angola. My name is Domingos Felícia Mateus. I live in Viana, Luanda, Angola. I was guided to the World Mission Church on the 7th of January of 2018 through my cousin in the province of Bié. It is in about 800 kilometers from the capital, Luanda. It's in the center-south of the country. The reason that led me to know this wonderful path of salvation were sickness, poverty, and conflicts. I had a chronic wound. In Angola, it happens a lot. People say that it's due to witchcraft. People step someplace with that, and it creates a chronic wound. In Portuguese, it's called tala. In Mozambique, it's called coechela. In Xangana, I think is the name. It's really a big wound that it covers the whole leg sometimes. And it stinks a lot. It expels a lot of blood, pus, impurities. And she had this in both legs, from her feet to her knee. Both legs were with this wound. She suffered with this for 5 years. I've received people who have had this kind of suffering in the whole leg for 10, 12 years. And not recovered with joy because they had gone through all kinds of medical, traditional treatments and they could not recover, only receiving joy. And she said, I suffered with this chronic wound from my 2 feet to my knee. To get out of this hellish situation, I went through many witchcrafts, sangomas, but I had no result at all. So during 5 years, I went suffering with intense pains, stinking a lot from the wounds, bothering everyone who was beside me. I eliminated a lot of liquids because it was already rotten. I could not walk anymore. I only crawled. And I looked like a very old lady. In the World Mission Church, I was received by the center head. And when he interviewed me, when he asked for my personal information, I was ashamed to say my true age. As I said above, I look like a very old lady. So I said I was 6 years older than I am. To a lady to say that she's older than she is was really very bad, yeah? Ladies usually, the Jewish... I could not believe that people at the church would stomach the stinking from my wounds, but this was the first thing that really touched my heart because the followers did not care about it. After I was heard, they guided me to receive 20 jewelry per day, guide people, distribute flowers, and have a vegetable garden at my home. I started to practice the guidance, and through my wounds, a lot of solid things started being eliminated, like hairs, sand, and a lot of solid things started to be eliminated from my wounds. The pain diminished, but the wounds did not heal. The center head guided me to make a special donation for the upliftment of the ancestors who had gone through this kind of suffering. After some days, I had a dream with my late grandmother. In this dream, my grandmother told me that my wounds only would be healed if I guided another people with a suffering that was worse than mine. You see, it's good that it was her late grandmother, because if it was the head, the center head, she probably would have cursed him. Your suffering, your wound will heal only when you guide people with a suffering that is worse than yours. When I woke up, I thought with myself, how can I save another people if I haven't been saved yet? Very good question, yeah? She hadn't healed the wound, but she had already received blessings. She had no pains anymore. She had no pains anymore. She had already received some blessings. After 5 years of intense pains, she had no pains anymore. So she needed to guide another people who were suffering more than her. Even without understanding it, I made up my mind and decided to follow the advice I had received from my late grandmother. The same day, I went to the hospital to make a bandage of the wounds, to clean the wounds. And I met 2 people in the same room. One really very hard. And the other one suffered with epilepsy. And during one of the cries of epilepsy, she fell down on a fire and burned her arm and the forearm. They got closed because of the wounds. So she found 2 people who were suffering more than her. I decided to guide both of them. When the wound of the lady who was with leprosy got healed, the wound of my left foot also got healed. After some days, the leprosy of the other person was also overcome through the receiving of joy. And in relation to my right foot, the wound closed and opened again. This process was repeating until a day, talk with the center head. He asked me if I had already done the donation of gratitude for the healing of my left foot. I told him that no, because I'm waiting for the total healing of my body. And he corrected my way of thinking, saying, no, you need to express gratitude for the little so that you can receive more. I followed his guidance, and my suffering that lasted 5 years became a history of the past. I got completely healed from my sufferings. As a gratitude, I became a member to become better serve the divine network, and I'm taking care of other people. So you see, she was a follower. She had a very extreme suffering. But even she, in that condition, she was guided to, you need to guide other people who are suffering more than you are. More than you are. The more we get attached to our problems, the worse they become. We need to do our best to overcome them, leave them in the hands of God, Meishu-Sama, do our part, but we need to take care of other people. We need to guide other people, give joy assistance. If I'm not a member yet, I can pray with them, help them clean their home, make the vegetable garden, help them guide their neighbors, their relatives. I can be useful for making other people happy. This is the path to overcome all the difficulties that we are going through. Let's practice a faith that's not selfish. Let's practice a faith that has as a goal participate in the construction of paradise on earth, being used by God and Meishu-Sama to change the lives of other people. That's what I wanted to share with you. Next month, we will have our monthly service of gratitude here. It will be the second Sunday of October, 9th of October. Is this okay? And From today until our monthly service day, let's guide people, preparing them to come with us to the service. Me or Minister Paul will be here together with the other ministers, together with you, so that we can pray. Let's start doing this in this place until we have our own headquarters and our journey centers here in Joburg and Soweto again. But it's very important that during this phase, we can do our best with the practice of Jorei at our homes, guiding people, opening new homes, teaching people to follow this path of Jorei and the teachings of Messiah Meishu-Sama. I am really very happy to be here today with you. I do believe today is a new starting point for the Divine Light work here in South Africa. We are getting to a new phase, and very soon we'll be able to have our centers in our cities, in the other provinces of our country as well. It's all up to us, together with Jorei, with the daily study and practice of the teachings, distribution of flowers, cleaning the homes, cleaning the streets, making the vegetable gardens, we'll be able to spread Meishu-Sama Divine Light work. Thank you very much. Happy Heritage Day to all of us. Thank you very much.
We hereby end the annual Ancestor service of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you.